Hello, welcome to another podcast of TomBecka.com, where every week we interview somebody with a unique story to tell. And there's kind of an underlying theme in all of these stories. If you've noticed, there's an underlying theme in all of these stories is that it's the power of the individual. It's the power of an idea. It's the power of a person overcoming adversity. It's the somebody accomplishing a dream of theirs. It is the power of somebody to maybe take a chance on something in life and how it turns out for them. And this is one of those stories. This is a story here about two women. One is an artist. She's a photographer and a very good, talented photographer. And the other was a woman that is recovering from breast cancer, who has recovered from breast cancer. And the photographer is helping the breast cancer survivor reclaim her life, her femininity, take control of herself, and show, what a beautiful woman that she is. With breast cancer, it can be rather, a very traumatic time for a woman. And through Tammy's photography, she's helping these women regain their positive attitude, regain their confidence, regain their spirit. And that's what I found so cool about interviewing these two women, Tammy and Mindy. Start off by talking to Tammy about what she finds so fascinating about photography.
I've been a photographer for almost 11 years now, so it's a lot of things. I love to be able to capture life for people. When it started out, it was more of a nature type thing, or taking pictures of my friends. And then it just, kind of grew from there. I just love creating and capturing everything for people. Life. So it started off maybe just doing it as a hobby, and from there it just grew into a passion and a career. Yes.
Okay, now you went from starting off, like you said, doing landscapes and outdoor and nature type photos to going into something a lot more specific. What are you doing?
Right now I'm concentrating on, I do weddings to keep going for a living. But I also do boudoir. It's a lingerie type photography where women come in and they wear sexy lingerie, and they usually do it for their significant other. Some women come in to do it, though, for themselves, to feel sexy about themselves and to bring themselves back, I guess, as far as renew themselves, maybe. I guess we could say. So
it used to be like, back in the day, in every mall they had glamour shots, okay? So what you're doing is almost like just taking that to the next level of just saying, okay, ladies, come in and we'll do some sexy poses and lingerie and that. These aren't like sex shots, right? These are just sexy, sensuous photos, right?
Right, yes. When they do it for their significant other, it is really specifically for that, where they're just showing their significant other. Mm-hmm. But when they're doing it for themselves, sometimes, we as people get in a rut, or we don't feel good about ourselves anymore. And then we grow out of that, and we decide that we want to show, the fact that we've grown, and that we're stronger than we used to be. So basically, some women come in for that reason in particular.
Okay, now Mindy, you were a customer.
Yes.
Okay, but you went in for, I'll ask you. Why did you go in? What?
I went in for a different reason. I had found Tammy on Facebook through a friend of mine who does hair. And I was looking at her photos, excuse me, because I like to take photos amateurly. Well, I had gone through cancer and was trying to document some of that myself, but the end result, I feel better now than I've ever felt in my life. So I was looking through her photos and seeing that she did boudoir, but I didn't really want to wear lingerie. I wanted to take it a little bit different aspect of it. She had some photos on there that I really liked of a female that was wearing a pair of jeans covering her top with no top on, and I kind of liked that aspect. Mm-hmm. So I contacted her and asked her if she'd be willing to do cancer photos in a boudoir sense. She didn't quite understand what I was talking about at
Now,
first.
are these all like breast cancer survivors? Or?
I'm a breast cancer survivor. The project we're doing is with any cancer survivor, just to show that even after all the scars and all the treatments, you can still feel beautiful. And Tammy certainly did that for me. We contacted and connected, and I went in, and I was nervous as heck, and she made me feel comfortable. I did some with pink boxing gloves and a black robe, and made it kind of sensuous, that I feel beautiful about myself, but I wasn't naked by any means. And then I did some with a pair of jeans with no top, with my top covered, and we wrote with lipstick on my arms, and that was very, very powerful. That's my favorite photo that she's taken, and that's
What
kind
did
of
you write
like,
on the arms?
Cancer sucks.
Yes, it does.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm a bladder cancer survivor, so
awesome.
so I know that the second you hear the C word, I say the second the doctor tells you have a cancer, every other thing he says sounds like the teacher in the old Charlie Brown shows, right? I mean, it's just like everything else is like wah 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 wah, and it all just gets to you. Okay, so you were going to be you wanted to document what you were going through during the whole treatment of your breast cancer, and you were going to use it through photography. What did that do for you? I mean, the empowerment or whatever. I mean, when you went and had those pictures taken, what did they do for you?
They gave me a sense of strength for others, to try and empower others to try and do this for themselves, because everyone thinks they've gone through cancer and they need to hide in the shadows, and they don't. They are beautiful people, men, women, children, all of them, and they need to get the confidence back that they had once before. And I've had that confidence. I just wanted to, first of all, do the pictures for myself. I was making like a little Shutterfly book for myself, so I wanted them for myself. But then when I saw what Tammy could do with it and the power that was behind it, I enlisted a friend to go, and we did hers, and hers is very powerful too. So all the pictures that were taken is just not a snapshot of someone's face and a shirt and smile. The second one that we did, we painted her face like a warrior. There was no boudoir in it. It was just a photo. Because mine was breast cancer, which breasts are more of a sensuous type of body part, I decided to go with the robe and feel powerful with pink gloves and stuff like that. The second one, her motto was never give up, and she was a cancer warrior, so she got her face painted, and it was awesome. It turned out wonderful.
Now Tammy, you're not a cancer survivor, are you?
No, I'm not, but I do have family members that have had cancer and really close friends that have had cancer. Okay,
so now when they came to you with this idea, I mean, had you ever thought about doing anything like this prior to this?
I guess no, but the reason why it got me going on the subject and why I decided to pursue it is because I've been struggling the last couple of years with some things, and it had put me in a mindset where I was having a really hard time as a woman feeling good about myself. So the boudoir kind of went in a different direction for me. Yes, I was still doing my job, if you want to call it that. But at the same time, I wanted to create things for women that made them feel strong and not let people take them down. Because we as women are a lot stronger than we give ourselves credit for. We actually are a lot stronger than a lot of people, and I would say men in general, but you know what I'm saying? I'm
not arguing this.
I know. I'm saying just for instance, women have children. Women do a lot of things that men cannot do. And so I believe that a woman that has had a child and then goes through something like cancer, along with life, just regular life, every day working, taking their kids to school, taking care of their husband, taking care of their job, everything about that I just wanted to empower women and help women see that we are the stronger of anybody, I think. But we as women don't, because society makes us feel like we need to be insecure, and what they put out there, on TV and models and, that kind of stuff, it makes us feel like we're not, no matter what shape, size, color, just everything about us.
Yeah, no, a lot of women would have apprehension to take the boudoir pictures in the first place, especially, after they've had breast cancer. Mm-hmm. How did that empower you, or did that empower you? I mean, what apprehensions did you have going into this, and how did you feel coming out of it?
Well, prior to cancer, I would have had more apprehensions to doing this. But since I've had cancer, I don't really feel as my body is sensual anymore. I mean, you kind of get to that point where your body parts are fake, and, I had a tram flap, which is my own body fat, was made into breasts. Mm-hmm. But once that happened and transformed me, I felt like a woman again. And I didn't want to go and just show all my scars. That's not what it's about. It's not about the scars. It's about how I feel like a woman after the fact. And so I had a bra on and, like I said, a robe, and it just made me feel really beautiful, and I feel like that's me. That's who I am. I survived cancer, and I can still be beautiful afterwards. Even though I lost my hair, I was bald, I lost my face, my eyebrows, my eyelashes, and you kind of lose your face and your skin turns gray. So what? Who cares? You get out of it and you get past it and you're beautiful again.
Now, you obviously are, I assume, you had family and friends to support you through all of this.
My family helped me very much so,
okay.
And I had a couple good friends that were with me through the whole way.
Now, when you were going through all of this, I assume they did everything they could to make you feel like you were beautiful, right? I mean, they didn't say, "Ooh, geez, you lost all your hair. My God, you're ugly," right? I mean, they tried to reassure you in your beauty, didn't they?
Right, they did. Especially my husband. He stuck by me the whole way and told me I was beautiful no matter what. But he's my husband,
Yeah, what does he count?
He has to say that.
I want strangers to see me in a bra and a robe, and then I'll feel beautiful. Huh?
No, I just wanted other women to be able to feel, that they can still feel this way and feel the confidence and not have low self-esteem because they've got scars,
Well, that's it too, is that, if your husband can tell you all that, all the time, and he believes it, he feels that way, and he wants to reassure you, but if you don't feel it inside,
in yourself, yes.
Those are hollow words. Mm-hmm. So you had these pictures taken.
Right.
Did that make you then feel beautiful about yourself?
I felt beautiful already. I mean, just because I had gotten past it and felt better than I ever have in my life. But the pictures just added to it. I mean, seeing myself there, the photo that we took was me sitting on the ground in a pair of jeans and my bra. And we wrote "Cancer Sucks" on my forearms, and my hands were in my hair. And it was almost like looking at it, it was when you first find out. You sit on the floor, you cry, you put your hands in your head, and you're like, why me? Well, this wasn't the why me photo. This was look at me now photo. And it was awesome. Because I remember sitting on the floor with my hands in my head, crying when I found out. And now this is the end result, sitting on the floor just saying, cancer sucks, but oh well, get through it.
Now, how does that make you feel as a photographer in knowing that you're bringing that sort of power to these women?
I don't know that I really have any words to describe how it feels. When they see their images and they love them, they can express in words how much they love them, but it's a different feeling than actually having a conversation and watching a facial expression and seeing the strength that builds from that. I really love that she feels that way. I love that sometimes we see beyond and we aren't able to express what we can see. or how we feel. Her friend, Missy, I mean, she, the way that she feels about it, she expressed it in a different way. My friend Amy, when I had done her images, she said she cried when she saw her images. It's just, it's the, I guess it's really the emotion for me than anything.
What do you do with these pictures now? Are these just pictures for you? Are they pictures that, you show your husband and maybe a few close friends? Or is there going to be a bigger project on this to help bring awareness and let other women know that just because they have breast cancer, they can still be beautiful?
We are putting a project together, actually.
Yeah.
We have a couple more clients, if you want to call them that, because I don't want to call everybody a cancer survivor. We're still trying to figure out what we want to call the project or series, I guess. But I just want people to be able to feel better about themselves. So actually the sessions that I do are free for anybody that wants to have a session that has cancer. Whether they're going through it right now, if they've just found out, or if they're in the middle of the process, or if, by God's will, they've, come out of the process. I want to capture what, the whole entire thing, or whatever I can capture for them, so they have that, and not just for themselves, but for their families. I want their families to be able to have those images, the children that are very small, that when their parents or whoever has cancer isn't around anymore, those children have those memories of their person that they loved that passed away from it, or that passed away later on in life, but they have the ability to have those images.
You talked earlier about when you found out that you had cancer. And when you saw the picture of you with cancer sucks on your arm on the ground, it was very moving, because you remember sitting on the floor and crying when you found out that you first had cancer.
Yes.
Is there any way to explain all the emotions that you go through when you were diagnosed?
It's almost like a grieving process. Just like you've lost somebody, you've lost yourself. You feel like you're going to die. That's the first thing that you hear. You don't hear cancer, you hear you're going to die. And it's what you do with that. It's whether you say, no, I'm not, and you fight through it as much as you can, or you say, oh my goodness, I'm going to die, and go crawl in a ball and go to bed, which neither way is wrong. It's just how people deal with it. And, it takes a different type of person to be able to fight through the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, even though you know that, especially if you catch it early, that cancer is very curable in this day and age, there's still that mindset. When you hear cancer, it's...
Correct.
Yeah, oh my God, I'm dying.
Well, and it's a difference, and no cancer is better or worse than the other, but the staging process is a big difference in it. I was in stage 3. Stage 1 or in situ is a lot easier to cure. Stage 3, I had 50-50 chance of living past 5 years. My daughter was pregnant for the first time with my new grandchild. I had something to look forward to, and I was not going to give up, no matter what. My motto through the whole thing was, cancer sucks. I had a party in the chemo room with a cake and pizza and Pepsi and everything for anybody that walked in the door, and the cake said, cancer sucks. And they knew that was my motto, and I'm like, it sucks, but you know what? We're going to get through it. And I tried to boost the morale of everyone in the chemo room, and I didn't go to support groups. I didn't do any of that because I was kind of introverted at the time. But now that I'm through it and I've hit my 5-year mark, well, I'm 7 years out now. But
nice.
Now that I've hit that mark, I'm ready to take on the world and help other people through it.
I have a friend who we did a podcast on breast cancer, one of the first podcasts we did, and she just reached her 5-year mark, and it was like a major accomplishment to me at that point. Yeah,
5 years is a major accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because I was triple negative, which is a rare type of breast cancer. It's not hormone related or anything like that. You can't take any of the medications afterwards to prevent it. It is just a straight cancer like you would get it anywhere else in the body.
Did you smoke or anything?
I had smoked beforehand, but I had quit the year before I got it.
Okay.
And I don't know if that contributed. Maybe it did. But I had quit, thank goodness, before I got the cancer.
Yeah.
Yes.
It always amazes me, too, people that continue smoking after they're diagnosed. I know people that have done that, and it's like, wow, how can
That
you do that?
amazes me.
Yeah, how could you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? What would you say to any other woman right now that might be listening to this, or any family member that has somebody with breast cancer, or any cancer for that matter? What would you say to them if they're going through a similar thing that you went through?
I would say that you need to keep your mind positive. You're going to have horrible, horrible days ahead. But if you keep your mind positive that you're going to get through it, you probably will. You have to have the mindset. It's all in your mind.
Yeah. And Tammy, if people want to get more involved in this, if they want to go and be a part of your cancer project or find out more about it, how do they go about doing that?
They can call me. The number is 402.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I don't mind like maybe giving out an email address.
Okay.
But I don't want to give a phone number out to the World Wide Web because who knows who listens to this? Okay.
You're right.
So I'd hate to get a phone call from you one day all angry saying you won't believe these idiots that are calling me. So why don't we just give out an email address or a web address that they can go to?
Okay. My email address is Tammy TAMMY Mickey MUECKE @gmail.com. And then my website address is www.tammymickeyphotography.com.
All right, and ladies, I like I said, I had bladder cancer, which is we caught it early. It's a recurring type of cancer, but as long as I go in, get it checked, boom, they snip it out. It's I call it cancer light compared to what you had to go through. But I do know that any time that you are diagnosed with this, and you're told about it, it changes your life because we all know we're going to die someday. It's just that when the doctor tells you that you have cancer, it sort of makes it a real thing because someday is today all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah. How's your grandbaby doing?
He is now going to be 7 this year, and I have another one. That's 3.
Very cool. Very cool. And if any woman that is listening that's gone through this, you'd recommend doing something like this, a boudoir photography or something like this?
I definitely would. Even men. I mean, I don't want to exclude men out of this either. If men enjoy golfing, if they enjoy whatever they enjoy, bowling, anything of the sort, and they're doing it now after they've survived cancer, I would like Tammy for her to photograph that they're after it.
Yeah, it's not, we're not just the project, or I'm going to actually call it a series now because I've gotten pretty creative with it in the couple of sessions that I've done. I don't want it to be just about a boudoir session because it actually is going to include anybody with cancer and men as well. So I want it to be where I can create something for them. No matter what it is, as far as, photography related is concerned. I want to create something fun and have a good time with it and be silly and laugh and be strong afterwards for, the whole entire project. That's what I want it to be about, is them to be able to walk away from it knowing that they're a stronger person and they've come out of this.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Mindy, for sharing what's going to be an incredibly personal story. I mean, to be able to get out there and talk about it and to show yourself like this to help others, it's a good thing. It's the power of the individual. It is the power of the human spirit. And we celebrate that here each and every week on TomBecka.com. If you like what we did here or any other podcast, please spread the word. Let your friends, family, coworkers know about it. And also, can maybe help out a little bit, make a donation, and help keep this podcast afloat. Anyway, until next time, have yourself a great day. Take care, and bye, y'all.